Okay, so what if I told you that you might never have to work again, or that money, as we know it, could become, well, totally useless? Now, these aren't just ideas from some sci-fi movie. This is the future Elon Musk is actively building. We've broken down his most forward-looking predictions into one simple explainer. And trust me, you are going to want to see where this all leads. Let's just dive right in with the big one, the prediction that could change absolutely everything. In less than 2 decades, your job could be optional. I know, that sounds impossible, right? Well, to even begin to understand how we get to that future, we first have to understand the foundation that Musk is laying down right now.
And that foundation, believe it or not, starts with his social media platform, X. But to Musk, it's so much more than just an app. He sees it as the very first step toward creating a collective consciousness, kind of like a global brain, where all of humanity's thoughts and ideas can connect and mix in real time.
So, you gotta ask, why did he even buy Twitter in the first place? Well, from his perspective, the platform had become a sort of echo chamber, pushing what he called a far-left ideology that came out of its San Francisco bubble. His vision for X is to build a true digital town square, a neutral, centrist space that actually reflects the huge diversity of viewpoints around the world, not just one.
But a digital town square is really just step one. The ultimate goal, the end game, is to let it evolve into that collective consciousness. I mean, just imagine for a second a world where language is no longer a barrier, where an idea from a farmer in Kenya can get to an engineer in Japan instantly. That's the future he's imagining, a future where our combined human intelligence can start to tackle the biggest mysteries of the universe.
And this is where things start to get really wild. Because this whole collective consciousness idea isn't just some philosophical concept. He sees it as the catalyst, the spark, for a massive AI and robotics revolution that could completely reshape our society and redefine what it even means to work.
And here's the timeline he lays out, and it's pretty mind-blowing. In just 10 to 15 years, he's predicting that AI and robotics will hit a massive tipping point. And that will lead us to a future where work is more of a choice, kind of like a hobby, not something you have to do. And after that, welcome to a world of hyper-abundance, where pretty much anything you can imagine is just there. Less than 20 years. Just let that number sink in for a minute. It sounds like something straight out of science fiction, but Musk seems completely convinced this is where we're headed. So the real question becomes, what would you do if you no longer had to work to live?
But here's the next logical puzzle. In a world of total abundance, where AI and robots can provide us with anything we need, what happens to money? I mean, what's its purpose when there's no human labor to pay for?
And that question leads us directly into Musk's next big idea. If money becomes obsolete, what takes its place? What becomes the new way we measure value in a world where almost nothing is scarce? It's actually a pretty simple but profound chain of events. AI and robotics create a world of plenty. That makes human labor unnecessary. And because money is basically just a system for allocating labor, it becomes meaningless. So what's left? What's the one thing you can't just create out of nothing? Well, according to Musk, the answer is energy.
And that's the absolute key. You can't just pass a law and create more energy. It's a fundamental constant of the universe. So in a world where you can create almost anything you want on demand, the one true currency, the ultimate measure of value, will be the ability to generate and control energy.
All right, so we've gone through the future of work and the future of money, but Musk's vision goes even deeper. He wants us to question the very fabric of our reality, to ask the one question that could really change everything we think we know about our own existence.
Are we living in a simulation? It's a question that philosophers and scientists have kicked around for centuries. But Musk isn't just asking it for fun. He's got a surprisingly logical argument for why the answer might actually be yes. His argument is pretty simple, but it's totally mind-bending. Just think about video games. In only 50 years, we went from Pong, literally 2 rectangles and a dot, to photorealistic virtual worlds. Now, just imagine that trend keeps going. In another 50 or 100 years, we'll be able to create simulations that are completely indistinguishable from reality. So if we can create billions of these perfect simulated worlds, what are the odds that we just happen to be in the one, single, original, base reality? According to Musk, the odds are vanishingly small.
Okay, so if we run with that idea for a second, if we're all just characters in some giant cosmic video game, what does that mean for us, for you? How should you live your life knowing it might all be a simulation?
And here's the final twist he leaves us with. If we are in a simulation, what kind of simulation would it be? Well, he suggests that, like any good story, the most interesting simulations are the ones that are most likely to survive. The boring ones probably get shut down. So the next time you're facing a tough challenge, just remember, you might be the main character, and this might just be the most epic story ever told.